Okay, open your settings, go to About Phone. Then you go to Software Information, you tap that, and under Build Number, you tap that 7 times. And this is going to open up Developer Options. For me, I've already done it, so I'll just back out of this and I'll go directly to the Developer Options. Now here you're going to scroll down and you're going to go to this Show Bluetooth Devices Without Names. Toggle this on. That's the first thing you need to do. Exit out of that using a Google browser or some other browser. Download that Smart Discover app and then open that up. It'll ask you about Bluetooth. You allow it to do that, and then it'll begin scanning for devices. And then voila, this is what you get. See this tab right here on the top? Now look when you scroll down. You see how many labels come up with that? Now I've tried it multiple times to connect to these particular Bluetooth and or networks, devices, whatever they are, which I understand what they really are. Now, put two and two together. If you've already kind of traversed this rabbit hole a little bit, you know exactly where this is headed to. Now, it won't allow me from this particular app to do any kind of interactions or interface with it at any kind of capacity, but there are other apps that you can use that do help in finding out more about it. Now, this is another one that I used. It's called Ramble. Now, with this app, these devices, they do not show up under that vaccinated name, if you will. They show up as Apple devices. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's because they're using this in order to have some sort of a method to mask what these really are, or maybe that Apple is working with them. Who's to say? Now, I've tried also to interact with these different devices through this app, and the ability to do so is limited. But what it does is I've on my own time correlated that the MAC addresses match. Now, there's another app that you can use, which is the NRF Connect app. This is the one that gives you the best information. Now, let me do a rescan and show you what I mean. So as you can see right here, it's again showing multiple devices, but it doesn't have that vaccinated word. It's not labeling them as such. However, you still see that there are tons of Apple device logos. Now, I found that these are the exact same ones as the vaccinated ones. So I've tried through this app to connect or interface with them in some way, and I did. And so if you look here, these two top tabs, general attributes, nothing, nothing. But then the bottom one, heart rate. I checked that one, and look, heart rate measurement. It says value, body sensor location, value, chest, heart rate, control point. So these are obviously some sort of implanted medical device from just common sensical reasoning that it's tracking those different variants and biometrics, if you will. So again, I'll try a new connection. Now, again, some of these, they'll allow you to connect to them, and some of them will instantly kick you off. They won't even really allow much interaction. However, this one is another one that's separate. You can see the above tab that I have two of them open now, and look again, heart rate measurement, body sensor location, value, chest, heart rate, control point. Now, okay, and then some of them, if you're in this other tab called client, you can scroll and check more of the data. But again, it just seems to reiterate what we're talking about here, that it's basically tracking heart rate monitoring, the location and value, chest, body sensory information. These are biometric informations that it's basically given access to. And so I'm not really sure if there's a different way that I could try to interact with these different devices. I've been trying other apps, and some of them, they don't even appear to be interactable in any fashion, but they do show. And so you can correlate the different IP addresses or the MAC address that is associated with the device, and it'll pretty much tell you exactly to determine if it's the same device as that vaccinated address that you had from the Smart Discover app. Now, again, some of these, if you type it and you look into it, it'll tell you, like right here, it says Apple Watch. Now, that's fine, but those are far few in between from the many other devices that I was able to interact with. And when I was able to interface with them a little bit more and bond to them in some cases, I was able to extract a little bit more information out of them and be able to tell a little bit more information about what particular type of Bluetooth low emission device this is that we're scanning and picking up, because this is highly suspicious. Now, if you're familiar with what we've already been learning in the truther community concerning this very thing right here, and we could just name a couple of things, self-assembling nanochips and different things of that nature. Now, if you are someone who is no longer a pureblood, I'm not sure what you can do in order to reverse that, but I'm sure that this is tracking you right now. And it seems to be a statistical improbability, or more like an impossibility, that 3 nights ago when I was walking, and within a mere 2 blocks of my location currently, at 3 in the morning, I was able to pick up 762 different devices. Now, of course, that's crazy in and of itself, but there's a lot of other information that you need to be able to pick through. So I kind of was just looking and searching through everything that I could, and I was downloading as many different apps and APKs and other sources that I could, like online tools, in order to help me investigate further about what we're seeing. But we obviously understand what this is. So when you have Trump talking about building this dome, and it's some sort of a protective dome, if you will, like an iron dome, so to speak, don't believe that, because 6G is coming, and basically we are those hackable devices. We're hackable creatures. And this is according to all of the leading experts in these fields. So 6G is basically going to be the mesh network that is controlling our biometrics and us and tracking it. So if you look into what Peter Thiel is doing, him as well as his company with Palantir, it's exactly this. Now, here's a different kind of app, BLE scanner. This is another type of device. I was using this one as well. And again, there's not a lot of telltale information that blatantly says exactly what this is. But if you correlate some of these MAC addresses, or these different numerical titles that are identifying these Bluetooth devices, you can correlate them back to that other app, the Smart Discover app, and you can cross-check the accented tabs there, and it gives you a little bit more information. Now, on this particular app, I was able to get a little bit of information, and I'm still in the process of researching exactly what all of this means. But I will say this is a sinister thing. It's extremely invasive. So I just thought I would bring a short video to you and show you exactly how you yourself can pull up these devices, and you can see it for yourself what it says. It's it's unbelievable, but to the people who kind of understand what's going on right now, we already seen that this is coming. Now, this is going to be directly intertwined with AI systems that they're building out right now. You watch. AI governance is going to be a huge part of the way this new system is rolled out for control. Now, do your little research, but I assure you that this is the beast system of revelation. This is definitely something that is of biblical proportions. And look, prophecy, I kind of would have questioned it up to a point, but I mean, come on, guys, it's getting to this little juncture, if you will, when it's just kind of hard for you to deny any of this. And the moment that you start denying the evidence and it's right in your face, that's a little bit willful on your part. So I don't know how forgiving that could be, but just continue to deny what these people are trying to push on us, because we're at the cusp of something that is unprecedented, but it was foretold. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of little quick other hints before I get out of here, all right? Now, go check out Project Bluebeam and look at what some of the grand finale schemes are, the plans and agendas that these crazy elite demonic Satanists have in store for us. And then you correlate that to the advent and advancement of artificial intelligence as it's trying to be risen unto the point of artificial super intelligence, which that's a whole other conversation. But you correlate these things to whatever they say that is floating here, that Atlas extraterrestrial, whatever it is. Okay, you correlate Project Bluebeam to that, and then you correlate it to the end times, and then you correlate it to a worldwide governing system that is ran by AI, and then you could kind of get a better idea about what we've been looking into. And you could see that this is not something that was planned overnight or the last 4 or 5 several decades. This is something that was seriously looked at, and by some entities with way more control than you believe. If you think that controlling the weather is a really serious thing, they don't have 100% control of that. It'd be giving them too much authority and power. That's a God thing, but these timelines are converging for a reason. The only ones who didn't have the full scope about the timeline is pretty much all of us. They've known what the timeline was from the beginning. They knew the convergence, and so they had to set up the different methods of deception. So I just wanted to show this video to you real quick and let you see for yourselves what I was talking about. So do your own research, and I'm out. I'll hit y'all later.